Alright, yeah, welcome back to some more Magic Arena, and today we're going to be going into the Singleton queues. So I did actually have a deck lined up for this series a couple of days ago, but it ended up being garbage, so back to the drawing board. We're actually going to be playing Naya Dinos, so we're going to be seeing how far we can go with this one. We did pretty reasonably when I played the ultra meme version on stream the other day. I've since knocked back some of the meme a little bit just so it's a little bit more competitive, so we should be able to do better, if not just as good. So we're probably aiming for this kind of bracket here. If we get 4 wins, we get ourselves a rare and basically get all of our money back, which is pretty sweet. Anything less than that though, and we've basically paid 50 gold for a bit of fun. So, you know, without further ado, I'll do a quick deck tech. But other than that, I will see you in the matches. I'll leave a timestamp and all that stuff if you're not interested in seeing the deck list and you just want to see it in action. Anyway, guys, see you there. Okay, so time for a quick deck tech before we get into the matches. I just wanted to do a quick overview of everything that I've got in the deck. I'm not going to go through absolutely every single card, but I have split the deck tech up into a list of different kind of purposes of each card. So right at the first area here, we actually have all of our ramp spells. So we have a lot of our 2-mana docks right on here. Drover the Mighty gets boosted from Dinos. Incubation Druid can become a 3/5 in the late game. Pretty solid stuff. Treasure Map's in here. It's kind of card advantage, also ramp. I'm going to count it as ramp though, because I imagine if we flip this, we're going to be rushing into some of our more late game stuff anyway. Lannery just combos very well with Treasure Map and actually gets us tokens when she boosts, fixing our mana as well, because we are only splashing white in this deck for Gishath and Zakama, so we only need 1 white source, technically, for the entire game, so something to keep in mind there, I suppose. Other than that, though, we've got Rhythm of the Wild against Counter Magic decks. We got New Horizons and Gift of Paradises to stick on our lands. New Horizons combos very well with Incubation Druid. Gets us to put a counter on it and can turn it into a 3-mana dog, so pretty solid right there. And Circuitous Route as well allows us to go for 2 basics or gate cards. We have added some gates into the mana base as well, just because it is Singleton, so you can't have enough jewels in the deck to really justify it. But, you know, we can actually add gates in here and get some value off of Circuitous Route that way. Since they're all coming to play tapped anyway, they might as well be actually dedicated tapped lands. So, pretty solid stuff right there. This area here is our removal. We're not going to need a great deal of removal because, on average, our creatures should be a little bit bigger than our opponents anyway, so we're likely to roadblock our opponent at the very least with the size of our creatures. But, you know, we got Lava Coil here as a little bit of high toughness removal as well as graveyard hate. Rabid Bite, Thrash, and Savage Stomp are our fight spells. Savage Stomp putting a 1/1 counter on a creature you control. Again, it kind of combos with the Incubation Druid, but we do have to spend a little bit more mana on this. This will essentially cost 3 mana on the Incubation Druid, but it's another way of ramping, I guess, if you can kill a 1 toughness creature. Thrash can hit Planeswalkers, which is very nice as well, so anything like that is pretty sweet. And if we don't need it, then we've got Threat as well to turn ourselves into a 4/4 red and green beast creature token. And finally, Needletooth Raptor as well, which is a dino, as well as an enrage target. We don't really have any enrage enablers, but if our opponent enables it, it's kind of one of those problem cards our opponent has to deal with. We can also kind of swing in with Needletooth Raptor, and eventually they'll be forced to block, or maybe if they're attacking into us, then they're forced to lose a creature in the exchange, so still solid even though we can't actually easily enable the enrage without killing Needletooth Raptor. We do have one way of doing it though, with Forerunner of the Empire. 4 mana 1/3 is basically the auto-include in the Dino matchups. When it enters the battlefield, you get to search your library for any Dino card and put it on top of your library. And then when a Dino enters the battlefield under your control, you get to put deal 1 damage to each creature. So this would trigger the enrage. So we could technically use Needletooth Raptor up to twice in a single turn to deal 10 damage over 2 targets, essentially, which is pretty nice all the same. So this section here is basically our card advantage. We've got Community of the Dinosaurs. 1 mana, look at the top 5 cards of your library for a dinosaur or a land card. So this should be guaranteed to hit every single time, but of course I'm sure there's some ways that we can whiff with this card, but it's very, very unlikely. And in the early game, honestly, we'll probably just want this for a land card anyway, so, you know, all of our mana base right here, we'll be able to take care of that just nicely. Gaia's Blessing is kind of anti-Persistent Petitioner's decks. We'll basically auto win to that deck, so it's a good reason to bring it in anyway. So other than that though, it does draw a card, it replaces itself if we want to use it that way, and if it gets milled, it shuffles it back in, so which is why it's good against the mill archetype. But worst case scenario, we get to put 3 cards that we might have wanted to actually play back into our deck. So if our opponent kills Gishath, Sakama, Golta, or anything like that, we can shuffle them back into our deck. Not too bad. Beast Whisperer gets draw off of creatures, sorry. Guardian Project, again, just any creature entering the battlefield for the most part gets to draw as a card. Immortal Sun shutting down Planeswalkers, which is very, very, very useful because War of the Spark is coming around, so I expect to see a lot of Planeswalkers, so being able to just shut them down completely with the Immortal Sun is pretty solid. And then we move on to the bombs of our deck, the way that we actually win this one. So Zakama and Gishath are ones that I've touched upon already, kind of. This is Gishath, 7/6 Vigilant Trample Haste. When it deals combat damage to a player, reveal that many cards from the top of your library and put any number of dinosaur creature cards from among them onto the battlefield. The rest on the bottom of your library in any order. So we can go up to 7 cards deep into our deck and pull up to 7 dinosaurs from our deck. It's very unlikely for that to happen, but it's also unlikely for us to whiff on value on Gishath. All we have to do is just have a clear path to our opponent's face, and Trample kind of helps with that as well, so they can't really just block with a 1/1. Zakama is also super powerful at dealing with pretty much everything. We can wipe our opponent's board with the 3 mana spell there, the red one. The green one destroys artifacts and enchantments as well, so we can blow up the world. And the white one, if we're trying to stabilize as well, is also very useful. It should be noted as well, when it enters the battlefield, you get to untap all the lands you control, so we can play Zakama down and tap out completely, get the trigger to untap, and then we get to use those abilities however we choose. We also have like Gift of Paradise and New Horizons attached to lands, so Zakama untapping some lands can also generate as 2 mana in certain lands as well, so there could be some float potential there, which is quite nice. Polyraptor, just to combo with the Forerunner of the Empire. Whenever it's dealt damage, you get to create a copy of Polyraptor, so with Forerunner and Polyraptor in play, you can basically create enough creatures to kill your opponent in one shot, which is quite nice. If we've got haste as well somewhere down the line, it's kind of nice as well, but you know, I'll just take Polyraptor combo as it is. Carnage Tyrant against control matchups. Etali gets to exile a top card from each player's library, and then we get to cast them for free. I whiff with this card more than I hit, so, you know, I'm going to include it in here because it's a good dino, and it's an Elder Dino, so it kind of fits in here, but I'm pretty terrible with the high rolling on this one. You can just hit land, and it sucks. It's just a 6/6 for 6. But, you know, we'll see what we can do. If we hit like Zakama, then we're laughing. So, you know, just have to get lucky once, right? Regisaur Alpha gives our dinos haste, as I mentioned with the Polyraptor combo. It's kind of nice to have that. All the dinosaurs with haste is pretty sweet. And when it enters the battlefield as well, it creates a 3/3 with trample and also haste because of the Regisaur Alpha. Charging Monster, just a nice 5-drop power creature. It's, yeah, it is what it is. It's pretty solid. And then we move on to the meme cards. So I had to include 1 or 2, right? In this case, 3. Sarkhan's Unsailing. Not so much of a meme card, I suppose, but it is a 4-mana do nothing immediately. But whenever you cast a creature with power 4 or 5 or 6, deals 4 damage to any target. And then with power 7 or greater, 4 damage to each creature an opponent controls, and each creature and planeswalker as well. Each creature and planeswalker. Ugh, I'm rusty. Leave me alone. Mirror Match gets as memey as it can possibly get. Whenever your creature enters, it will create, well, you'll flip coins, and if you win coin flips, then you get extra copies, so pretty solid. They all have haste, and then they die at the end of the turn. Sunbird's Invocation is probably one of the most solid of our meme cards. 6 mana for an enchantment. Whenever you cast a spell from your hand, reveal the top X cards of your library, where X is that spell's converted mana cost, and then you get to cast one of those spells with X or less without paying its mana cost. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So that's essentially the main deck. I won't really go through the mana base all too much. We've got Arch of Vraska to draw cards. Guildgates, as I mentioned, to pull off the circuitous routes. Nice even split. We're only splashing white in our non-basics as well, because we only have 2 cards that are white. Memorial to Unity allows us to dig a little bit deeper into our deck to find what we want. And that's essentially it, guys. Without further ado, let's get into some matchups, and I'll see you there. Alrighty then, we are in, and we've got all the colours we could ever want. Drover on 2, and I mean we can go into like Ripjaw Raptor or even Forerunner. Yeah, we've got options with this hand. I'd like one piece of removal, but I don't even know if the removal's going to be all that necessary anyway. Just got Temple Garden tapped. Thank God we got our green source. Yeah, we're going to need one of the Mana Dorks here to actually generate the double green, it seems, but that should be fine. Alright, Clifftop Retreat, and it looks like we're up against some sort of mono-white life gain list, so we'll see. Does it matter which one I go for? I suppose not necessarily, but we'll just go Drover anyway. I suppose Drover does give up the, somewhat anyway, gives up the idea of our deck a little bit with the Dinosaur part here. Paladin of Atonement, gain some life. Alright. Pretty simple if you ask me. Right, let's get down Ripjaw Raptor. Turns Drover into a 3-3. So pretty nice there. And our opponent can't actually attack through the Ripjaw Raptor even if they wanted to. They're going to need something like Baffling End or Conclave Tribunal to get rid of it. Vanguard for our opponent. I feel like we're going to get some value off a Ripjaw Raptor, if not only a little bit anyway. Because we can now go Forerunner here as well. I'm going to swing right through this. We have a 1-3 to block all of this stuff. Worst case scenario, Vanguard becomes like a 2-2. Wow, you thinking of blocking? Wow. Well, we get to draw a card. I was not expecting that to happen. Alright. Get some lands. Love me some filtering. Yeah, I might have played the Forerunner if I'd thought they were going to block. So we've got 6 mana to work with next turn. It's not quite enough for most of our bombs. I suppose we could get Golter down and that just basically wins us the game. Yeah, what else do I expect them to do? I guess they can't really deal with Carnage Tyrant. It's like they've got Exile, I suppose, but we'll grab ourselves a hexproof creature and then they can't do that to us. And I think a 7-6 when they're this far behind it's pretty hard to let through, and therefore they're gonna die. 1-0. It's just explosive. Jesus. Alright, let's go for another game. Alrighty then, we're unfortunately in a mono-green kind of situation with a lot of our meme/techie based cards. I think I'm going to mulligan this one. And this one seems pretty solid. We don't really do anything until turn 3, but I think we can manage with this one all the same. Beast Whisperer is solid for card draw. Forerunner obviously gets us any dino we really want. And yeah, Mana Dork on top. Absolutely solid. So we can go Incubation Druid on turn 2, and then on turn 3 we can play Beast Whisperer and follow that up with any of our creatures here. And we should have ourselves a decent card draw engine. Just getting to redraw every single creature is pretty sweet. And getting it down super early as well. Silverbeak Griffin. Alright. So our opponent looks to be on mono white again. Mono white popular today. Interesting. If they go land, they could do Conclave Tribunal, I guess. I think that's pretty much the only other removal spell I can think of in mono white that they could have. At this stage in the game, anyway. Yeah, it looks like they've got it. Oh, Knight's Pledge. Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, we don't care about that. Drover of the Mighty is solid. So we've got basically a draw 2 here. Drover into Thrashing Brontodon. I like it. Yeah, I don't think we were going to adapt the Incubation Druid. I mean, I could go with Forerunner, set up the top card of my deck, but I don't really know what I'd want right now, so I think I'd just take the ramp and the chance to attack my opponent's enchantments here. Sunbird's Invocation is pretty solid, and even a Rabid Bite as well. Alright, this is about as good as it gets. So Sunbird's Invocation coming down next turn, I imagine, if we get to keep our Mana Dorks around. I've got to imagine Silverbeak Griffin stays back unless they've got a blocker. Because, you know, taking this much damage, not ideal. And holding it back will stop us from attacking entirely. So it's green-white, eh? Alright. Ooh, Blanchwood Armor. Well, Blanchwood Armor is about the worst enchantment in the world unless you're in mono green. So there's that, I suppose. Okay. So we're taking maybe 6 next turn. I think we're fine doing that because we get to Sunbird's Invocation. And I'm just doing it for the memes because I think we win. With this much removal in hand, we can get rid of the Silverbeak Griffin whenever we want. Thrashing Brontodon. Of course. Wow. Okay, we got another forest. So we take 6. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Alright. That was unexpected. So Thrashing Brontodon can get rid of... How are we gonna go about this? It's my go, he says. How rude. He says it's good game. So we can take him down to 6. Then we can Drover, and yeah, I think we can kill Silverbeak Griffin entirely here. Which is kind of cool. So, let's do Rabid Bite. Fight, fight. Take him to 6. And then we do Savage Stomp. You fight you. Get Rhythm of the Wild. And then we use Incubation Druid to remove the enchantment from him. This one. And he's dead. Oops. Alright. Back at it again. A 3-3. Next. Alright, so we Regisaur Alpha. Dig. 1 card draw, and then 5 deep to go get... I like New Horizons here. Stick that on a land. Counter goes on Incubation Druid. Let's give it... Tap target creature defending player controls. We're gonna be... Yeah, we'll stick a counter on it for now. Ranging Raptors, go 3 more cards deep, draw a card. Let's have Lannery Storm, which casts and gets his Lava Coil. Then we can put a counter on Lannery. Let's have a counter on Regisaur Alpha. Okay. And 1 mana short of Lava Coiling post combat if we swing in with Lannery Storm. Let's swing in with that. And that. I'm guessing they're trading off with the Dino token now. No? Yes? No? Alright. Oops. Whatever shall I do? Swings. Oops. Tap a creature, opponent. What are you gonna do? Which one do you tap? The Regisaur Alpha? Oh no! Oh no! Not the Regisaur Alpha! Oh no! I guess it's my go. Okay. Yep, Thunderherd Migration, that seems good. Let's reveal a Dino. There we go. And then get a forest. And yeah, we'll have a counter on there. And let's just get it's just a tough choice really. Let's just have the Ripjaw Raptor, I guess. And we'll play that, we'll do that. This will draw us a card. Yeah. And then we'll Sunbirds. We'll whiff, it's fine though, you know. Let's have haste. And yeah, I think we'll swing. Alright. 2-0. Oh, good stuff. Good stuff indeed. Alright. Yeah, 2-0. Let's go for another game. Alright, 3 lands with a 2-mana Dork, pretty solid. Sarkhan's Unsealing can come down early, as well as Beast Whisperer. Yeah, I like this hand. Even Mirror March is here. Good God. Ooh, we might be up against another mono white. Hello. Bit weird that we're seeing so much mono white, but, you know, accept it. I guess it was green white last time, and now it's red white. Could lose to this. We'll see, though. Depends on how quickly we can get going, how much removal my opponent ends up having. It's like, if they can answer this Incubation Druid, then we miss out on a 4-mana play here. Which would, of course, suck quite a lot. Let's take 3. Boros Challenger. Okay. And it's actually not even close to mono white, as it turns out. Okay, so we can play Sarkhan's Unsealing, which can start pinging stuff off next turn. We're guaranteed to get a 4-mana creature. Oh, it's power. Oh, okay. It's not as good as I thought it was in this situation. Well, I guess we'll go with the Beast Whisperer plan then. Could also go with the Needletooth Raptor, because that means if they swing in with the Vanguard, they're losing the Challenger anyway. And they have to pay 4 mana to block it. Yeah. Let's slow them down a bit. It'd be cool if we could, like, get Beast Whisperer with many copies off of Mirror March and then just cast any creature. Do you have non-damage based removal? If they do hit Needletooth Raptor and trigger his ability, I'll go after the Boros Challenger, because this can just become a indestructible creature. They're just gonna straight up pass it up. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'll just play Beast Whisperer. And I guess we're just taking 4 in the air for a little while, until we can deal with that. I don't think we're winning this by any stretch. Unbreakable Formation, yeah, certainly not now. Good God. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That puts us dead to a burn spell next turn. It's pretty lucky of our opponent to get that one right off the top. Oh my God. Unless they didn't get it off the top, of course, then it's just skillful play holding off on that kind of thing. Yeah, we just don't have a way of dealing with Rekindling Phoenix, so I'm just going to have to absorb the damage as much as possible. But yeah, I think we just lose to Rekindling Phoenix, sadly. Doesn't even matter where we point this. That was the one draw that I think they could have had that would get them out of the situation that they were in, but they had it, so boo hiss, I guess. Yeah, just can't beat it. Let's go for the next game. Alrighty then, 3 lands with 2 sources of ramp. 2 of our Mimi cards, but, you know, I guess we can take them. I mean, they both benefit from being played first before any threats come down, so you never know, right? You just never know. Hopefully our opponent's not too aggressive, though, otherwise we'd probably just lose with this hand. Gift of Paradise gaining us 3 life, though, could make for some good magic. Cinder Barons for our opponent. Grixis. Okay. I got a good feeling that this is probably like Super Friends. We're going to go with the Gift of Paradise here because it's just not interactable ramp, unlike the Disciple, which could just die to a Lightning Strike, Shocks, anything of that sort of stuff. Notion Rain, okay. And Niv Mizzet into the yard. So this actually might just be Grixis. Okay. So the question becomes, do we want to get down Ripjaw Raptor, which seems like it is difficult for my opponent to interact with without giving us card draw, or do we want to ramp up into Invocation Mirror March? I think we all know the answer. It's Invocation Mirror March. All right, with Circuitous Route, we want to go and get the Guild Gates. Let's go get the Gruul Guild Gate, and I don't think it matters which one of these we get. Let's just get the green one, I suppose. And then we get to drop down Mirror March or Invocation next turn. If they tap out, it's going to be kind of nice for us, but they did not. Alright, so the most powerful one is Invocation, so let's lead off with the one that's most likely to get countered here. Wow, okay. It still benefits us as well playing that first, because we can do like Ripjaw Raptor and then Disciple. And just see if we can get some Mirror March triggers. Itrata. Oh, we memeing. We are memeing. Alright, Boros Guild Gate. I think it's Sunbird's Invocation. I think because they're in Grixis, there's just not a good way for them to deal with enchantments, so getting them out underneath a potential counterspell here is solid. Could see Dispersal maybe, but looks like it's going to be Tezzeret. Alright, Entranta swings in. She has nothing to exile, so she stays in play when she gets combat damage through. We're going to see if we can get some serious hasty action from Mirror March here to kill Tezzeret, because we cannot allow this to ult. Well, that's one way of preventing it from ulting, I suppose. Alright, well, that's Immortal Sun then. Look at 6 cards with Invocation. And ooh, if we're lucky, Drover could feed us into enough mana to play another spell here. Or I could just go off of Guardian Project for some card draw. I feel like we've already got enough card advantage at this point. Let's do Drover. See if we can get some Mirror March triggers. No. Okay. Worth a shot, though. Actually, we do get Draconic Disciple because of the cost reduction on Immortal Sun, so that works out in the end, I suppose. And Thunderherd, we do need to reveal Ripjaw here to actually use it. And let's get green. Disciple comes down, whiffs, and we pass. That's my Mirror March value right there. Okay, I feel like there is very little chance of our opponent winning here. They can no longer activate any Planeswalkers. Itrata could get in and exile a Mana Dog, but it's just such a weak play that they probably don't want to bother with that. Ooh, they have Bedevil for Immortal Sun. Okay. Which allows them to tick up with Tezzeret. Alright, we're going to go Sarkhan's Unsealing, Sunbird's Invocation, Savage Stomp. Cost me 2 more to cast. Yeah, I can still play Ripjaw Raptor. Okay, so we want to get... Let's see. If we play with the counter on Drover, it becomes a 4-4 when Ripjaw Raptor comes through, or do we want a 3-3? I guess we want the 3-3 and want to fight the token. Oh, did it not work like that? Because I thought this was in a... two less to cast. Alright, so it was free. Never mind. I thought it was 2 more to cast. I was misreading it. Alright, let's play Ripjaw Raptor. Invocation. Hits. Let's hit Itrata, I think. So that they can't block and protect Tezzeret. So they have to choose now between... Ooh, even Needletooth. They have to choose between keeping a Trotter around or protecting the loyalty that they're going to lose off of Tezzeret. Oh, yes. That's the stuff right there. And Ripjaw Raptor. Oof. Alright. Yeah. That's mirror match for you. Alright. I wasn't actually sure right off the bat whether or not we wanted to attack into Tezzeret or just hit face, because there was a lot of value there that I didn't actually expect, but yeah, 3 and 1. We basically have paid 50 gold for this particular run, so pretty good. If we win one more time, we get it for free, and we even get a rare, which is probably going to be gems knowing my luck, but, you know, better than nothing, right? Alright, let's go for another game. Alrighty then. We have 2 mana ramp, Thrash Threat. This hand is a bit awkward. It's got the mana we want, but not really the threats, the early game ramp that is ideal. Yeah, I think I'm gonna throw this one back. This is fine. This works for me. And okay, 1, 2, 3 up to 4 into 5. Guess that's what we want. Yeah, I'll take it. Hello, opponent. Okay, and we want to lead off with the tap lands, so that's going to be Sunpetal Grove. Ooh, Raptor Companion. Are we playing the mirror match? And our opponent is mana screwed. I have a feeling that's not the case. I think it's just maybe mono white. Sunwing. Well, we got 2 dinos. Got to keep in mind that creatures on our side will enter tapped, so playing Druid of the Cowl is going to be a tapped creature here, unfortunately. So if we did like Rhythm of the Wild, giving this haste, it just wouldn't actually work. So let's do Rootbound Crag. I do kind of like the idea of using New Horizons to put counters on things, so I could go with Druid anyway, just as a tap land. Yeah, the haste on Rhythm is pretty useless with Sunwing in play. Go up to 4, up to 5. I like the idea of getting Unsealing down before Monstrosaur so we can take down the Sunwing. So this line allows us to do that. Even if Druid was to die here, we could still play Unsealing next turn. We'd just need 1 extra mana for the Monstrosaur though. And because it's off a cast trigger as well, it means that Monstrosaur will enter untapped if we kill the Sunwing, which we're absolutely going to do, given the chance. Alright, Ripjaw Raptor's pretty solid. Let's get down Sarkhan's Unsealing. We absolutely need this to live, otherwise I think we'd just lose this game. And I think we hold back the Druid to hold back the Companion over there. Since we're at such a low life total, even whiffing on Sarkhan's Unsealing. I suppose we don't even whiff anymore because we've got Ripjaw Raptor, right? 4 power. Triggers the Unsealing's creature removal bit, so yeah. Let's just block here, see if they got pump. They don't. Okay. So we're down to 10. Opponent playing all the vanilla creatures. Makes you wonder how they got, like, to this bracket, but, you know, hard work. Alright, kill Sunwing. Or try to, at least. Succeeds. And we get down a Ripjaw Raptor, which is very hard to attack through. Needs a removal spell for it, if they actually want to get any damage in without forcing us to at least draw cards. So if they've got pump spells, they can attack through, and we'll lose Ripjaw Raptor, but I feel like it'll be worth it. Revitalize, but no mana for the Dawn of Hope trigger. Up to 23. It shouldn't really matter for us, I don't think, that our opponent's at 23 as opposed to 20. I think when we start going, we just get explosive damage. We have so far, so no reason why we shouldn't this time around. Marshall. And passes. Yeah, that says to me they don't actually have an answer to my Ripjaw Raptor, which is nice. Okay, so we have a few options, I guess. But none of them allow me to play 2 in the same turn. So do I want to play more creatures down? Unfortunately, Brontodon, Disciple don't trigger Sarkhan's Unsealing. They're a little bit too low power. This actually might not hit as much as I hoped it did, because I kind of assumed it was converted mana cost, which is why Golter's busted, but it's actually his power that makes the difference. Yeah, I think we want to get more blockers down, honestly. Could go with a Disciple, I suppose, since we get the guaranteed Monster Claw next turn. That's fair. This way, though, we get to actually attack the Donahope if we want to. But I feel confident we're going to draw a land. I don't know. I can just feel it. Shall I? Alright, well, that would be our Sarkhan's Unsealing target regardless. Come on, land. Oh, yes. Alright, kill Shall I. And start swinging. I think we can do a double attack here. They can only deal 4 damage, so it doesn't kill either one of them. If they block either one of them, we either get trample damage through or card draw. And Brontodon, solid enough to block this Caracal. You should even be able to kill it through a pump spell, which I'm happy to trade off with. It's just a shame we don't have the extra mana untapped here to kill Donahope in response off of the block. We got the Seal Away. Going after Ripjaw Raptor. Okay. Fair. We do have a chance to have a gotcha kind of situation. We can, like, block with Brontodon, or in response to combat, sack to kill Seal Away and get back the Ripjaw Raptor to allow us to draw cards, which is pretty nice. 3, 4, 5, 6. So New Horizons going on charging Monstrosaur pumps it up to the level we want it. Boros Guildgate, sadly, quite unfortunate, but I think we can actually... we can make this work. We do New Horizons on the untapped land. Put a counter on Monstrosaur. That gives us the 3 mana we need to play either Rhythm or Draconic Disciple, which I think it's Disciple, because we can make a 5/5 flyer. So, offer the triple block. They don't take it. Alright. And then play Disciple. We want to have enough blockers down to deter them from attacking, rather than the Rhythm of the Wild that can make hasty creatures. Inspiring Cleric, gain some more life. And they do have a Donahope trigger here. So they're finally getting to the point where Donahope's doing its thing. I doubt we get an attack here, but on the off chance that they've decided this game's over, they might actually want to go for an all attack here, maybe. Nope. That's unfortunate. Okay. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we've got Disciple mana here. Needs to tap to make his 5/5. Seems fine. Yeah, I think we attack again. We get so much value. Yep. Seems good. Alright, if they attack us, then we've got Brontodon sack on the Ripjaw Raptor. We basically trade upwards, drawing a card. And then we've got Disciple on end step as well, to make a 5/5 to start swinging. Alright, Resplendent Angel, obviously a problem. Needs dealing with. Is this enters the battlefield? It's when you cast. Okay. Yeah, let's trade up. Let's get ourselves a 5/5 in the air. And could go with the Ripjaw Raptor. Could also wait on it as well, because if I play Rhythm of the Wild, I get him hasty if I want it. I need to force some blocks here, I think. We're swinging in for 8, which is not a great deal. Resplendent Angel can become a 5/5. Which is a problem. I think it goes without saying. Getting that forest was very unfortunate for us. So I don't think they actually block if I just swing in with my 5-5. But if I hold it back, then maybe they don't swing at all because they get a 4-4 back. Which is still problematic, unfortunately, but... yeah, I'm not actually sure on that one. I guess Rhythm's guaranteed, so let's just play Rhythm. Yeah, I guess we just pass, offer the trade with the Resplendent Angel. We could just lose to that, though, because it's just far too much. Yeah. Far too many flyers are going to be created here. We're not very strong against flyers. And now they've got a Pride Mate that's ticking up pretty crazily. They don't actually get the Resplendent Angel trigger here, so that's kind of okay. So do we trade up with the Ripjaw Raptor, making it a 5-6? Or do we want to take down the Dawn of Hope as well, which is also kind of problematic? I think we still want creatures in play. So I'm going to kill the Seal away and get back my Ripjaw Raptor with a counter. Commune. Okay, this could be good. I beg for it to be good. It isn't. Okay. It's pretty terrible, in fact. Problems. Problems are arising. Let's get in with the Ripjaw Raptor. Maybe we get a chump block. Chump block is card draw. Sweet. If I was them, I don't think I would make that block. Gift of Paradise. No, this is terrible. Ah! Alright. Gift there. Gains us some life. I'll take that, I guess. Let's have a counter on the Ripjaw Raptor. We just want to make big boys. Rock Charger. And now they have a 5-5. Oh no, 6-6, sorry. Probably more. Oh my god. Okay. Block there. Block there. Take 9. And then they take 13, potentially. Oh no, it's Vigilance. I was going to say they take damage back, but Vigilance. Alright, thin the deck. Let's have another forest. I hate you, Magic the Gathering. I hate you with a burning passion. Good God, why do you want me dead? Now Resplendent Angel can pump up and get above our dragon, so we lose. We can't actually win through that at all. Also, creatures gain flying, so yeah, we're just dead. Land, 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 land. Next game. It's actually not next game, is it? Because we lost twice. So we ended up going 3-2. Unfortunately, I feel like we got a little bit of an unfortunate mana screw towards the end there. Just lands after lands after lands, but, you know, we didn't even trade up for a rare, but 50 gold to do all of that. I would call that a successful run even then. Playing 50 gold for a bit of fun, you know, is never a bad thing. So, hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, then be sure to hit that like button and subscribe. This deck's pretty solid. It does a lot of fun stuff. If you're into the Dino kind of style, then, yep, this one will be right up your alley. Doesn't try to get color screwed very often, but, you know, we're only running, I think, 24 in here, aren't we? 24 lands? Yeah, 24 lands. So, yeah, that flood at the end was just very, very unfortunate. Even Commune hitting just a Ripjaw Raptor really sucked. If we'd have got like Gishath, Sakama, Galto, I think we'd have won there, but you know, sometimes the cards are just not in the right order and you perish to them. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Like, subscribe, all that jazz, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.